Welcome again, Maxim here. In this video, I will show you what Void Relics are, what they are for, how to farm and manage them. As always, let's start with the basics. Relics are items that contain a long-lost knowledge of how to create primes, both weapons and warframes, but also other things. Currently, there are 5 types of relics in the game. These are so-called eras: Lith, Meso, Neo, Axi and Requiem. All except the last one can be obtained in many types of missions. They are very common, and you can find them particularly on almost any mission. But how to use them? To unlock relic management, you need a special segment, which is a reward for completing the Mars junction on Earth. After using the segment, you will have access to the pedestal to the left of the arsenal. There, you can check which relics you have, what can be hidden inside, and you can upgrade them if you have Void Traces. This is a special resource that you get from Void Fishers missions. That's where you can also open the relics. The list of active missions is available in the navigation. During one of those, Void mobs will spawn, but also regular ones that can be affected by the Void energy. Each such opponent may drop 1 reactant on kill. When you collect 10 of them, your relic will be opened as you reach the extraction. Each player has to collect the reactant himself, they are not shared here. Upon opening it, you will get a random number of Void Traces, from 6 to 30. This resource can be multiplied by the Resource Booster and mod Resourceful Retriever, which you can get from Sun on Necrolisk. When you reach the extraction, you will see rewards of all team members who open their relics. You will have a few moments to choose your reward. Yes, you can choose a reward from other as well, but if you want, you can go this mission without a relic. You will still be able to collect reactants and get a certain amount of Void Traces, but you will not be able to choose the reward from teammates. One little hint: if you play endless missions here, do not kill the mobs too quickly, because you may end up killing them faster than the Void will distort them, so you will not be able to collect 10 reactants. Now, when you know what Void Traces are, let's move on to the upgrading. Each relic can contain common, uncommon or a rare reward. Whether it's upgraded or not, it's shown by the blue dots on it. If there are none, it is an intact relic. And the possible upgrades are Exceptional, Flawless and Radiant, for 25, 50 or 100 Void Traces. If you do not make the maximum upgrade right away, you can upgrade that relic again later. The costs will be the same. Each subsequent upgrade reduces the chance of a common reward and increases the chance of uncommon and rare. Now you see chances of a specific reward on a given upgrade level. Note that each relic contains 3 common rewards, 2 uncommon and 1 rare reward. So if, for example, the chance of a common reward is 60%, then the chance of a specific common reward is 20%. But how to use a relic on a given mission? Select a specific Void Fisher mission. Then you will see a screen where you choose a relic to start. Depending on which planet the mission is on, you will be able to choose a different era: Lith, Meso, Neo, Axi or Requiem. There are also missions called Omnia. They are always endless ones, and there you can use any relic you like, excluding Requiem. You can play missions online, then you will have chance to literally get any prime from your teammates. Or you can go to recruiting chat and look for people who are out for the same parts as you. If you want to get something rare, you can join or create a full team where all 4 players will use the same Radiant relic. This is the best tactic for farming rare prime parts. However, you can open relics not only on walking missions. By using navigation on Railjack, you can also find a tab for relic missions there. Void Storms, as they are called, are an option for more experienced players, because enemy levels are much higher and mission objectives are more complex. Exploding Void Rifts, which can deal considerable damage, are an additional threat. There is, however, one convenience. Like all resources that are picked up on Railjack missions, reactants are also shared. When one player picks it up, everyone on the team receives it, so you don't have to explore the asteroids or galleons one by yourself. There may be a situation when you obtain, for instance, a blueprint for a weapon that requires a higher mastery than you currently have. Every weapon has a specific mastery from which it can be used. If this occurs, don't worry, this blueprint will be waiting for you in your foundry. The same system works for trading. If you want to buy from another player an item that requires a higher mastery, you will not be able to complete the transaction. A special currency called Ducats is connected with the prime parts and blueprints. Once every 2 weeks, Barocketeer, the Void Trader, appears on a random relay. He offers various unique mods, weapons, cosmetic items, and other things that you can buy paying with his currency. Next to the place where Baro appears, you will find a small point called Ducat Kiosk. This is where you exchange prime parts and blueprints for ducats. The values you can get from one item range from 15 to 100, all depends on how rare item is. But be aware of one thing here. A given part may, for example, be a rare reward in one relic and an uncommon one in another. Uncommons are worth 45 ducats, rare ones 100, but item that is both rare and uncommon is worth 65 ducats. If you farm prime parts to gain this currency, you can always point a cursor on it when selecting a reward to see how much you will get for it. At this point, you know almost everything about relics. But how do you get them? Where to farm them? It may happen that when doing missions with relics, as a reward for completing the mission, you will get a random relic, where the era depends on the planet and rotation. This can be the case on missions such as Spy, Rescue, Void missions, Endless missions, Bounties, Sanctuary Onslaught, or Railjack missions. However, it is a waste of time to mention all such places. It's better to focus on places where you farm a specific era. But first, an important note. Popular places to farm relics are, for example, defense missions, but they do not give you a 100% chance for a relic, because they are not only reward in the rotation. For example, Io, Defense on Jupiter, a popular place to farm Meso relics, but it is not a guaranteed reward. But if you need more than just relics, for instance you also need some resource, let's say Axiom, then the Io defense will be a very good place for you. However, there can be many such situations. So many that I will focus only on farming relics. If you want to farm something more than just relics, do not be afraid to look or ask in the comments, or on my streams, or just other players, where you can farm a specific era plus some resource. Okay, let's move on to the places where relics are guaranteed reward. Let's start with the Void. The reward for each successfully completed mission is one random relic. Not counting the sabotage caches, they don't contain relics. This is the list of relics you can get on a specific mission. If there are 2 eras on one mission, the chances may be equal to or greater to the lower era. So you can see that if you'd like to farm Lith relics, it's best to go Tessup or Hepit. But what if you want Meso relics or Neo? By going on other missions, you have a half or less chance for a specific era, and it all depends on the rotation. If you want to get relics from a specific era, you have to go on disruption missions. There are 4 specific locations for that: Mars, Uranus, Sedna, and Lua. With some exceptions, only relics drop there as a reward from obtained rotations. I'll get to exceptions in a moment. First, let's start with how rotations work on disruption. They depend on the round and the number of conduits defended in the round. This is how the rotation obtained in a given round looks like. And now, if you want to farm only Lith relics, you must go to Mars, Olympus. You will get them there on rotations A and B, and you have the same relic variants on both rotations. So in round 1 and 2, you can defend all conduits, but in fact, if you only defend one, you will also get a relic. But from the 3rd round, you have to let at least 1 point to be destroyed, but not all of course. Then you will get Lith relic again. Each subsequent round from the 4th one requires you to let 2 conduits to be destroyed to keep getting Liths. With just this little manipulation, you will always get it there. Now Meso relics. It's a bit more difficult because you can't be getting them infinitely everywhere, but it's not a big problem. You need to target rotation A on the Uranus and Sedna disruption, Ur and Kappa. Follow the rotation table again. In the 1st round you have to let 1 conduit to be destroyed, in the 2nd 2, and in the 3rd 3. After playing 3 rounds, you go to extraction and start the mission again. Resetting rounds by restart will let you always get Meso relics from rotation A. If you don't like the idea of resetting missions, you can head back to Mars and aim rotation C every time. You will find their Meso too. If you are interested in Neo, you can farm it in 3 ways. Uranus and Sedna, rotation B. You can farm like this endlessly. Or do a maximum of 3 rounds on Lua, aiming for rotation A. After that, resetting the mission. Or you can target rotation C on Uranus. There are Neo relics too, but here's the mentioned exception. In C rotations on all disruptions, except Mars, you have chance to get Universal Medallion, worth a 1000 standing points in syndicates. For some it's an useful item, for others not much. Nevertheless, the chance for it is always around 5% on rotation C. Axi Relics. They are available on rotation C on Sedna and Lua Disruption, Kappa and Apollo. Since these are C rotations, there will be more prizes in pool. Except the Universal Medallion, on Sedna you can drop Gauss parts, less than 8% for each, on rotation C. If you want only Axi, I recommend Apollo, because they are also available in rotation B there. They can be farmed endlessly without other items in drop table. Just let opponents destroy the right amount of the conduits and enjoy your relics. You can also target rotation C there, if you don't mind the chance of getting the Universal Medallion or Lua lens. It has an 8% drop chance and it's the best lens for focus farming. More on that in other material. I would like to add that you can also get relics from syndicates for 20,000 standing points. That is from 6 basic ones, from Teshin on any relay for 15 Vitus Essence, those are limited to 25 packs per week, and from vendors in open worlds related to mining. Old Man Sumbat on Cetus, Smokefinger on Fortuna, and from Otak on Necrolisk. In one such package you will get one random Neo or Axi relic and 2 Lith or Meso relics. But from those packages there's also a chance of getting Aya. That item can be exchanged at Mars Bazaar for a relic of your choice from the currently available pool of unvaulted relics. More on that in a moment. But as I said before, there is one more era, Requiem. They are useful if you are hunting Kuvalich or Sister of Parvos. So where to find them? On missions that are in territory of a Lich or a Sister. During it, the thralls of the opponent will appear. Each killed thrall has a 5% chance to drop a Requiem relic. However, there is a more certain method of farming them. Kuva Siphon missions. At the end of such mission, you have a 50% chance for a relic. Or if you complete the Kuva Flood mission, you will have it guaranteed, but mobs are more powerful there. Your goal, apart from just completing the mission, is to find and destroy the Kuva Siphon, which will be somewhere on the map. Wait for one of the 4 siphon nozzles to rise and start sucking in the Kuva cloud. If you destroy this cloud with an operator attack, nozzle will be destroyed. After destroying all 4, you can complete the mission and go to the extraction. These missions reset every hour. Few more things at the end. If you would like to learn where to get specific relic, go check the Codex. Knowing relic's name or what you want to get, you can quickly find the necessary information in the relics section of the Codex. Enter the name of a warframe, a weapon, or a relic in the text box. After clicking on any relic, you will see on the left a detailed list of sectors and missions it can be obtained on. Choose the most convenient place for yourself and start farming. Here you can check any relic or prime available in the game. Retired, restored or freshly added. Finally, it is time to mention 2 more things. You can sometimes be rewarded with upgraded relics. You can encounter it, for example, at the Sanctuary Onslaught, Railjack missions or Orb missions on Fortuna. And few words about the Prime Vault. It is a place where Prime Warframes and weapons are withdrawn from time to time. This coincides with the simultaneous release of new primes, usually every 3-4 months. It may also happen that Warframes already being in the vault can be obtained again, in order to avoid the situation that the only way to get a specific prime is to buy from another player for a very high price. Unvaulted Prime Warframes and their Prime equipment can be found in the Varzia's offer. That NPC is managing the Prime Resurgence system, a constant rotation of Warframes that were placed in the Prime Vault, but there they are available in special relics, which you can buy for special item, Aya. Check regularly what Varzia has to offer. And that's all in this video. Good luck with farming relics and primes. If you have any questions, please type them in the comment section or visit one of my streams, link in the description. See you next time, bye.